I have been asked to give you any advice I think might be appropriate now that you're graduating. And I was thinking, when I went off to college, before I went off to school, my dad told me that I should study or do what I love. A couple of years later, I told him that I was majoring in philosophy, and he thought he had made a huge mistake. No, all kidding aside, if I could give you any advice, it would be to do what you love or what you think is important. Hopefully those will be the same thing or close to the same thing. Because if you do that, either way, you will end each day thinking that what you've been doing is worthwhile.
I've got 3 bits of advice for you going forward. The first bit of advice is that you should always try to read 2 philosophy books every year. This helps keep your mind sharp and helps you remember where you came from, at least academically speaking. Second bit of advice is really a piece of meta advice, which is always follow the advice of Professor Sandler. He has endless supplies of practical wisdom and will never steer you wrong. The third bit of advice, also a piece of meta advice, is that you should never follow the advice of Professor Basil. He will always steer you wrong, and this is something that I have taken to heart. I never think or do what Professor Basil says, so I think that you should follow in my footsteps.
I also was suggested that I give you some advice for going forward after graduation, and I was really puzzling about how to do that and decided that I would work through it just like I work through any problem in my classes. So I'm going to draw a chart. We can divide up advice into advice you should follow and advice you shouldn't follow, right? That's pretty simple. Amongst the advice you should absolutely, definitely, certainly not follow is whatever advice you get from Professor Smead. That's pretty common sense to me. In terms of advice you should follow, well, there's lots in there, but I'm going to give you just a couple. First, you should read 2 philosophy books every year. It'll keep your mind sharp, keep those critical thinking skills working. And you should also just do whatever Professor Sandler recommends. That's the best advice I can give you.
We've also been asked to make some observation about the world that might be useful to you going forward. Well, in my experience, dogged persistence beats talented intellect every time. Good luck.
Okay, graduates, here's my advice. Life is going to continue to throw a bunch of crap at you, just like it did this spring. And you have 2 options of how you're going to respond. You can stick with what you know, try and true. You can try to stick to the plans you'd made and really dig your heels in. Or you can go with something new. And so my really simple piece of advice is that you will be happier in your life and more successful in your career if you can take the crap that life throws at you and use it as opportunities to try something new.
Okay, graduates, you've honed your critical thinking skills and expanded your creativity. So you hear this phrase, a better world is possible, another world is possible, but how? It demands each of us to let go of the idea that the world as it was is what we want to go back to. No, instead, imagine a better world and commit to building it together. We can't do this as individuals. It must come from our collective effort. So work together. I believe that you will be a part of how that better world is created. Go out there and do it. Congratulations, 2020 graduates. Don't forget to support live music.
My biggest piece of advice as you enter this new phase in your life is to keep an open mind. What you thought that you might love to do or want to do could totally be on track, but keep your mind open to the new opportunities and things that'll come your way that you might not even expect. And really just take everything you've learned, enjoy these moments, and I wish you all the best of luck as you go forward.
Move forward in life. Be kind. Remember, wonderful things can happen when we work together.
I have 2 bits of advice. The first bit is what's most important is also often obvious. And what matters is just staying true to it. Live unconventional life, resist social pressures, fight for what's good, beautiful, and true, and live life on a trial and error basis. Try something out. If it doesn't satisfy you, don't settle, don't become complacent, don't compromise, try something else. The second bit of advice is how to make a really great smoothie. Okay, so you're gonna wanna start with frozen blueberries, toss in a frozen banana. You'll want also frozen spinach. You want a sort of protein, here's what I've been using, add in some oats if you have them. Hemp hearts are really nice. And last but not least, chocolate chips.
I've been asked to pass along some practical advice now that you're graduating. Turns out, though, in times like these, I have no idea what practical wisdom looks like. But then again, if you think about philosophy a little bit and Socrates, isn't that really the true wisdom, that we just don't know anything? Think about that.
So I was also asked to give you a piece of advice. I actually really don't really like it that people give advice in these things. I feel like most of the time people's advice are just do what I did because it worked for me. But of course, you're not them. So, I really don't think you should take advice from other people. I think you should really figure out what works for you. So just don't take people's advice, and including that, don't take that advice either, because we're philosophers, we got to be consistent.
My biggest piece of advice to you as you sort of continue on with, what's coming next for you, is to be a sponge. So continue to learn, continue to absorb everything from opportunities that come your way, the knowledge that's around you, advice that people give you. Learn from your mistakes, celebrate your achievements, and really just follow your heart and your dreams and your beliefs. I know that there's a lot of stress and a lot of uncertainty in the world, and everything will work out. Just have faith, and just good luck and congratulations. And please do stay in touch. We love hearing from you. Congrats.
Hi, everyone. My advice is to get a dog. Or more generally, my advice is to find some things that you love more than yourself, and to use those things to anchor your existence. And if you do that, I think you'll always have some meaning that you can fall back on in life.
Okay, we're also supposed to give you advice as you go out into the world, which is a ridiculous thing to do right now because none of us know what's coming, and you're graduating into an unprecedented time of uncertainty and conflict. And I guess all we can hope is that we've given you the tools to deal with it as best you can and take care of yourselves and each other. Not super encouraging, I know, sorry. It's bad out there right now, but hopefully you're in a position to be able to take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones as best as you possibly can, that you can take the tools that we've given you and you do the best you can until you know better, and then you do better. That's Maya Angelou. Congratulations again. Take care. Be well. Or, again, as well as you can.
Hello, I'm Michelle Zaff, Co-op Coordinator for Philosophy and Religious Studies. I've enjoyed working with many of you on your co-op job searches. And if you've worked with me, I think you know the advice that I like to share. For others, I like to say that there are two kinds of people in the world. The first kind is the person who, when they reach the end of their tube of toothpaste, just tosses it, throws it away. And the other kind of person, when they reach the end of their tube of toothpaste, they will squeeze it and squish it and get every last drop out. And so my advice to you as you graduate is to be the kind of person that gets everything out of that tube of toothpaste, everything out of all the things that you have yet to experience and that you choose to pursue.
My advice for the parents, don't begrudge your children's choice to major in philosophy or PP. We need more people like them who think about the human condition, morality, and justice, and are adept at critiquing accepted discourses. We need more humanists. My advice for you graduating seniors, first, be kind to yourself and to others. Second, be brave, have the courage to stand up for what's right. Third, don't fear failure. Failure is your friend. Learn from it. Fourth, and finally, I'm sorry that this public health crisis the world is now engulfed in has robbed you of a proper celebration for all your accomplishments. But history has taught us that upheavals like these are often preludes to radical change. They invite people to think new social and political realities. And so I count on you to participate in that, to take the lead of that radical reimagining of society. So go out and change the world. All right, take care.
Do you want to give them any advice, Lucy? What advice do you want to give our friends? I think the only advice I have to give is what you probably heard from all of your professors already. Just keep asking questions, keep challenging your own view, keep reading. If you are in the Boston area, please don't be a stranger. Please come hang out at the department, and please let us know if we can help you with anything going forward. Thanks again for a good semester, and congratulations.
My one piece of advice is to not think that because you've graduated that you have to be done with us. We want to hear from you. We want to know what happens to you. From our perspective, we've just had 4, 5, the occasional 6 great years, and now we don't want you to disappear. We want to know where you go, what you do. Stay in touch with your professors. When you come to Boston, visit the department, come to talks, come to events. Stay in touch. Let us know how things are going, where you are going, and how things work out for you. And most importantly, whatever else you do, don't listen to John and Rory's advice.